Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers Podcast. And the eCom Sellers Podcast, we share with you e-commerce news, tips, and more. I'm your co-host, Nicole Whitlock.
And I'm Kelly, the eCom Mom Ward.
All right. And so we come to you every week to help share information to help you on your e-commerce journey. So Kelly, how are things going in your business?
It's starting to pick up that now that I've really gotten back into listing. I took, that little time off right before Christmas. And so now it's starting to pick up a little bit more, getting a little more sales.
Okay. That's good. And you went out, did you go out sourcing recently?
I did. I went outsourcing yesterday. I was planning to do something else, but it wasn't working out. So I went to the Goodwill, and I'm working on also getting my profit piles down. So when I go sourcing, I'm being a lot more picky. So I only bought like 5 items, and I got them all listed. They're all listed.
Good.
So they're not sitting there, adding to the pile. So they are all listed. So
that means that they can be found. That also means they can be purchased.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
no longer coming home with bunches and bunches of stuff and then just adding to the pile because I only get to list parts of it and then it gets buried. And then a couple months later, when I'm looking to do stuff, I find stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I know that life. I know that life. So right now, I have inventory in my office. I have inventory in the den. We've been gutting all of our inventory so that we're auditing. We're doing a full audit right now, and that is taking up a lot of time because we have a lot of inventory. We haven't even gotten to the storage unit yet. So this is just the stuff that's in the house. So we're doing a full audit so that we know what we have, and we have a great starting point for 2022. And we put together some goals for sales, and we put together some goals for listing. And so we did all of that so that we could be well on our way to trying to have a more consistent 2022, and also putting some plans in place should anything happen. I didn't anticipate, getting COVID and being down as long as I was, but, just putting some more processes in place so that if ever anything happens that I'm good to go. So that is, my business is good to go. Not me, but my business is still good to go. So we're going to continue to move down that road over the next couple of months. I have a goal for that. And then we also have a goal to install a new shelving system for inventory. Not that we're keeping it, we're shipping stuff to a fulfillment center, but for the things that we do have and the things that we do need to have here, we're going to set up a completely different shelving system than we have right now. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. So.
Yeah, I've made some goals. I'd like to double the amount of items I have on eBay.
Okay.
So that'd be close to about 900 to 1,000 items on eBay. Right now I have a little over 450. I have like 468, I believe, items. So I'd like to get that doubled.
Okay.
Which means I gotta get quicker at listing because I'm bad about going down into wormholes and really researching stuff and then getting lost, and then it'd be an hour and a half later before I get the item actually listed because I sell vintage items, so I do have to do some research on it to make sure that I'm not having it's not a reproduction, or if it's this is actually
an original,
the maker's mark from this time of year on this glass item. So you do have to do some research, but once you start learning that stuff, it'll be faster.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I am wishing you all the success this year. Continue to tell us about this journey, this new ventures. You also said, I think in our last podcast, that you were going to incorporate a couple of new things into your business.
Yes, and jewelry and stuff.
Jewelry. Okay.
Yeah, I've been looking for estate sales. That's where I've been, because I saw that Goodwill had a jewelry jar like this big, all full of jewelry, but it was $80. I'm like, no.
Like, not today. I'm not gonna be able to do that. Okay. All right. Well, we'll check back in. I'll check with you in about like 90 days and see how this journey is going. You check back with me. Our goal is to have the audit done by the end of January. So the first week in February, we're going to sit down and review the results and see where we are. And then the other goal is to have the new shelving system in place by the 1st of March. And then we have another goal on having all the inventory out. So I'll let you know how it's going. We have some aggressive goals. We'll see how this goes. But anyway, so we will get into the news. I want to encourage you all, if you are still working on your 2022 goals, we had an awesome planning session. It was a 3-day session. We'll be sharing that in the future. And then we also had 2 additional bonus sessions with Lysandra Everett, which is the home biz tax lady, and also Delshawn Hayes, who is the owner of Hayes Financial Group. And so these are things that you need to be thinking about for the new year. I know people are like, I don't establish New Year's resolutions. Well, then don't establish New Year's resolutions. But the beginning of the year is a great opportunity for you to kind of assess where you are in your business. And so those planning sessions were really helpful. And in those planning sessions, now we talked about using the eCom planner. So if you haven't gotten the eCom planner, definitely grab it. It can help you in your business, long-term, bigger picture. It'll give you some ideas on what to source. Each month we have a list of ideas. You can choose whatever you want to or not choose any of them at all. But these are things that sell anyway in that month. So we give you that. We also give you some additional information to try and help you with, getting past that sourcing challenge that people have. And then you have access to so many other tools that are inside of that planner and things that are going to help you to be consistent. So if you've been challenged with being consistent in your business, then definitely grab the eCom planner. And if you join eCom Sellers Academy, you'll have the opportunity to use your planner to join our accountability calls. So we're going to have accountability calls on a daily basis where we're just checking in. It's just 15-minute check-in, see what your plan is for the day, making sure that you put out to plan for the day, plan for the week, and plan for the month. And so they're not intended to be stressful. They're intended to help you along your journey. And I am excited to see where people are going to be in 90 days. Like as we do this for a full 90 days, like I'm going to step back and say, okay, how was it when you first started on this journey? And how are you now? Like what is happening in your business now? Are you being more productive? Are you being more consistent? Are you getting more sales? So all of that's going to happen. And those people that still want to join eCom Sellers Academy, the regular price is, it's back to the regular price, but you can get 25% off if you put in promo code 25 off ESA. Again, promo code 25 off ESA. So Kelly, let's go ahead and get into the news.
All right. Right now, there's not a lot of news going that I saw.
Okay.
Etsy's going to have a new payout report that's going to break down the seller fees for you, so you could be able to track that better for your tax purposes, because your fees that you pay are tax deductible. So you need to keep track of all that. We're going to give you some hints these next few weeks about stuff you need to really start doing for your business. If you don't know, the United States Postal Service, they have the self-service kiosks in a lot of the entrances where you could just be able to weigh stuff, and so you can print off your own labels. Well, don't print off your own labels there. I'm sorry. You don't want to pay retail. Pay your labels at home from eBay or Etsy, Amazon, or whatever to get the commercial rates. Mm-hmm. But you can self-scan your packages, so you don't have to wait in line to scan your packages. There's a way you can scan packages with that kiosk, so that there's a scan in time, and you can just put them in the drop box, so you don't have to wait in line to, because I know sometimes I get to my post office and the line is way long, and and there's times I've waited because a lot of people, if especially have something expensive that's sold, I want to get that scanned in. I want to see it scanned in. Other times I'll just throw it in the drop box if it's just a T-shirt or something. But if it's something that's expensive, I want to make sure that it's gets scanned in. But you can do that now at that self-service kiosk and skip the wait in the line. Um, Amazon, Amazon decided to use a physicist to help reduce the package weight.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, so that means we're not going to get something that's, I don't know, the size of this remote control in a box this big, right?
We might.
You might still get that, but it's ridiculous. You get something that's like this big, and the box is 3 times the size with a little bit of those air pillows. I mean, hey, free air pillows for me, but
A boatload of them. And that's good for them because of the fact that they're going to find that their shipping costs are going to go down a lot
Oh yeah,
because of that.
yeah. And a tip if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of boxes, you can go on Facebook Marketplace and ask for boxes from neighbors. You can ask your friends. You can ask your people, if your coworkers. So there's plenty of ways to get some free boxes.
Yeah. Even
And
Nextdoor is another great app to,
yes.
see if they're there.
And one other thing, there's been a scam going on that's targeting online sellers. It's the Google authentication scam. Basically, the scammer will you go on and you on Facebook, you have your phone number on there because, or on eBay or wherever you're selling on, you have to have your phone number on there. Well, these scammers will take that phone number and contact you via text and say, "Oh, we need to send you this authentication number code to make sure that you're a real person." And then you send the code back to them, and then they use that to set up a Google Voice number using your real phone number for verification, and then do all sorts of stuff with that phone number without you knowing. So don't be sending Google authentication codes to people. So yeah.
I hate scammers. I'm so tired of scammers. Like, come on, people.
And then I read that Bed Bath and Beyond are starting to shut some stores down that are not high
Performing, yeah.
performing. And one other, Macys was another one I saw that could be closing a couple more stores in this year.
Yeah, Macy's is on my list today. I mean, I think there's going to be more than that. We should have our list. I mean, I think there's already a published list, and I'll go find it. But there's going to be more than just that closing. So just be mindful of that. It's a sad thing for those people that are going to be losing their jobs, especially with those people who want a job and they want to keep a job. But that is probably not going to be an uncommon thing. A lot of stores are probably going to be downsizing because more and more people are continuing to buy online. Pandemic or no pandemic, since I don't know, we don't know where we are on this pandemic journey. We'll check back with everybody in 6 months. But anyway, because we don't know where we are in this pandemic journey. But it is that there's going to be more and more stores that are going to be closing, and the stores are going to be closing because of the fact that they're not getting as much foot traffic. They got to pay for the overhead of having a building and lights and water and storage and real estate and staff and all that other stuff. And they're like, look, we can do this online. So, more and more companies are getting smarter. They're increasing their online footprints. And that's a good thing to do. So anyway, it is what it is. All right. Did you have anything else?
No, that's all the news I had. Like I said, I didn't find very much. I mean, anything seemed to be a repeat from last week. I was thinking.
Well, and I didn't get a chance to dig into any news, and so I have a couple of things, but not a lot. So let me go ahead and bring up the news that I have. Let me just share my screen. Okay. So this was an article at CNBC, 10 things that will be more expensive in 2022. Why does this matter? Because as e-commerce sellers, we all need to be prepared for this. So housing, as e-commerce sellers, not necessarily something we're going to directly be impacted by, but people will be buying things for their houses. So food, we already know that. So for those who have wholesale accounts to be able to sell food products, yeah. Just know that some food prices are going up. Be prepared for that. Clothing prices are going up. I think there's still a bunch of different sites where you can get good prices on clothing. I've read a couple of articles, which is really sad, about how fast fashion and the pileup of clothes. What country is that? Is it the Philippines or Malaysia or somewhere where they have a massive pileup of clothes that people just throw out in some of these countries? And so, yes, clothing is going to go up, but I think there's still going to be an opportunity to find some at really good prices. You just have to resell. So you just have to hunt and pick. And also the retro looks are continuing to come back. So if you guys are doing the thrifting thing and you're going out to flea markets and you're, checking out other resale sites, like you can probably get some really great stuff. Like Kelly does the vintage, you probably find some really great things. Heating costs. So heating costs are going to go up. And it looks like gas costs are going to go up. So heating costs, I have gas heat, but you still need electricity to use gas heat, which is so anyway, it is what it is. So, so what does that mean? So if the gas price, the heating costs are going up, then, people may be looking for alternatives. And if you're doing anything and like maybe you're selling some products that have like solar energy power supply on it, that might be a thing to get into this year because the price of things are going up. The energy costs are going up. Dining out is going up, so that means more people are going to be eating in. So then if you're a reseller, what that potentially means to you is, people are going to be buying small appliances, things that are going to make their lives convenient, like the air fryer. I got an air fryer for Christmas, y'all. Santa showed up, gave me an air fryer. Instapots, crock pots, uh, things. I think the Sophie oven now is like one of those things that you just set it and forget it. So recipe books, yeah, storage bins for food and stuff like that. So these are all opportunities for you. When you see this kind of stuff in the news, like you should be thinking about how does that impact me potentially as a seller, or where are the opportunities for me potentially as a seller? You should be thinking like that. Cars, I mean, accessories is the first thing that comes to mind. But, you have to service cars. So that potentially means that because car prices are going up, people may be keeping their existing cars longer. So are there things that you are selling to help those people that are keeping their cars longer? Maybe. I don't know. Look into that and see if there's an opportunity there. And also things to maintain the car. So look into that. Maybe there's something there for you. Computers and electronics are going to go up. Again, people may keep those longer. So if you've got electronic parts, like you can sell those on eBay. So if you got those old laptops that are not working, like wipe off all your old information and list those bad boys and make some money off of your old electronics. It's really sad. I feel like we probably have about 6 laptops in this house. Of the 6, there is 3 that are working, maybe 4. Nope, 4 that are working. So we probably have 8 laptops now that I said that out loud, which is really bad. So we need to list some laptops on eBay. Clearly, we need to list some laptops. But electronics, so, old phones, other things, pads, Surface, whatever you've got, you can list those things. And because if the price of things are going up, it gives you an opportunity to make some money. So you got some old video game consoles. Come on, y'all. Think about it. Furniture. So the cost of furniture is going up, and medical care. So furniture, I think of the first thing that comes to mind is the bigger pieces of furniture, and not that is not important. Some people are selling the bigger pieces as e-commerce sellers, but others are probably selling accessories and things like that. So one of the things that immediately comes to mind for me is those people that refurbish or restore furniture. And that's another opportunity. So if you're selling all of those little, what do they call them? decoupage and the glue and all the brushes and everything, sanders and things that they do to restore furniture, that may be your jam. You may actually see some of your sales go up because people are starting to get into the art of that. Also, some of the books that are associated with it because of the fact that people might be getting into that jam. You think of anything else there, Kelly?
Using like Facebook Marketplace, Macari Local to sell furniture. Use local pickup, eBay local pickup to
Definitely.
sell furniture. And some people will pay for, they really want the chair, they will pay a couple $100 to have it shipped. So
there you go. And then medical care. So I'd have to think about this one because I know that with the pandemic there was a lot of like listings that a lot of the platforms wouldn't let you sell stuff. But again, there are things that people are trying to do to help improve their healthcare. So, different books. The first thing that comes to mind, there's a lot of healthcare related books out there. If you decide you're going to get into the supplementation game, that is something. I mean, I know as resellers, like we find stuff that we can resell on another platform for a higher price. So supplements is another thing that I think of. Those are the immediate ones. There may be others that, pop into my head later on, but make sure that when you see things like this, articles like this, think beyond what you're doing. Don't just ignore it because it actually may actually help you as a seller or give you ideas. It may inspire you to do something new and different. It may inspire other products that you could be selling, or it may inspire you to change up your game on what you're doing right now. So putting that out to the universe. So this article is from Techcrunch. It's talking about 4 trends that will define e-commerce in 2022. I didn't go through the entire article, so I'd encourage you to take a look at it. But a couple of things that I know I'm starting to see more and more trends. We already know about the NFT thing, which is definitely a trend. And zero party data becoming critical, so personalization. The other thing is I know that I'm seeing a lot of the social selling kind of thing is definitely picking up. And definitely personalization is a big deal. People want to improve the customer experience. So if you want to check out this article, you can go to TechCrunch. The next one is, see, I bring these up and then something covers it up. So Walmart expands its direct-to-fridge in-home delivery service to 30 million homes. Of course they do. So it allows employees wearing cameras to enter a customer's home to deliver groceries and other purchases or to pick up returns, and even when the customer is not there.
no.
That's gonna be a no for this girl over here. Hard pass. But again, they're expanding it. So I just want to let y'all know it's out there in the universe. If you're a person that's working a full-time job, if you're away, you need to have stuff delivered, Walmart will come into your house and deliver it. And if you want to let them do that. Some people will take advantage of that. I don't know. I'm not that person though. As we said before, Macys is closing several stores. There's other stores that are closing. So they have a list. This is on USA Today. You can go check that out. See the list of the stores that are closing. Maybe there's one near you. And, sometimes like with Sears, when they were closing several stores, they actually had some really deep discounts in the stores. So go check out the list. Texas, Baytown, San Jacinto Mall. Not anywhere near me. Closer to Kelly.
Yeah, that's about a little over an hour away.
Oh my God. And then Bloomingdale's outlet is closing. So that's another one.
Kevin, can you come?
Yes, Nicholas. All right. So
after focus we can watch TV.
We'll see, Nicholas. So that's in USA Today. You can go check that out. Sorry, Nicholas is just gonna do Nicholas. He does not care if we are broadcasting or not. It's irrelevant to him. Okay, tax returns. So your tax returns are not okay. Let me just preface this by saying I am not a tax professional. Consult your own tax professional. But based on the information that's on the IRS website, your tax filing deadline for traditional tax filings is April the 18th. I have heard Lysandra Everett say over and over again for partnerships, it is March the 15th. So it's like a month before. So in any case, it is extended from April the 15th to April the 18th. Let me just go over here. So they moved the date.
Because that's Easter weekend, because April 17th is Easter this year.
Yeah.
So to make up for the weekend, the Good Friday and
Yep. It is Good Friday and all that stuff. So your tax deadline is April the 18th. You can go to the IRS website. It is there. So make sure that you're paying attention, and you can file your extension. Your extension needs to be filed by April the 18th as well. So be mindful of that, and be on the lookout for a video from our amazing Lysandra Everett to give you some tax tips for 2022 so that you don't get yourself in trouble. So with that being said, we're going to transition now. And we want to talk to you guys about maybe 8 strategies to establish in your business for 2022. So these are strategies. We kind of covered them in the eCom planning session. You should be thinking about them in your business. You should have a plan for them, or you should be, figuring out what you want to do about them long term. Most of us already have strategies. We just don't have them documented. And so again, use 2022 as your opportunity to document your business, especially if you want it to live on beyond you. Nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. And if your business is doing well, then put some processes in place so that your business can thrive and survive long beyond you. So the first one is a research strategy. Again, more than likely, you probably already have a research strategy established. And the more you can document around that, there's a couple of benefits of documenting all this stuff. One, it helps you to outsource to a VA a little bit faster, because if you write down your research strategy, you could literally turn that into an instructional document for a VA to kind of do some of the work for you, so you don't have to do the research. Like Kelly was just talking about all the deep research she does on some of this vintage stuff. And if there is a process, Kelly could write that down to help her be able to get through. Nope. She says nope.
Because then I won't learn. If my VA is doing the research, then there's the other stuff I pick up when I'm doing the research. That's different if we're going to research, sourcing something online than my vintage research. It's different research,
Okay.
Because, and when I'm out, because that research will help me out when I'm outsourcing.
That's true. That is true. But everybody should have a research strategy, whether it's detailed or not detailed. It can be used for multiple things. And at some later point, if you decide you want to get a business loan, maybe your business has grown so much, and you can incorporate all of these strategies into your business plan, you already have the documentation for it, so that they know how you run your business. So it's not going to hurt you to do it. All right, Kelly?
Having a sourcing strategy. So maybe you choose certain days to source. That's what I kind of do. Or maybe you decide I have too much stuff right now. I need to put my sourcing on hold unless I find amazing deals. Then, I find an amazing estate sale. I might have to take my sourcing off hold because I know I can make some good money out with that stuff from the estate sale I see. Also, I subscribe to. I have local thrift store. That's a mom. I say it's not mom and pop, but it's the Assistance League thrift store, and they put out a weekly newsletter. I subscribe to it that way, and it tells me the email. It's in my email box Tuesday morning because they're closed on Mondays. Tuesday mornings, I look it up on Tuesday mornings, and it tells me what's on sale that week. Is it women's clothes on sale that week? Is it kids' clothes? Is it books on sale? They're having a certain color tag, 75% off? Then I can decide, do I want to go to that store this week or not?
Yeah.
Or do I want to go somewhere else? I follow all my local thrift stores that have a Facebook page on Facebook because a lot of times they put their sales on there. And knowing where your local like dollar stores are and everything. And also, what I do is to help with taxes. I put all my errands in with my sourcing so I can take that mileage and use it tax deductible because I was outsourcing. Yeah, maybe I had to go to the pharmacy to pick up my prescription, but I was still outsourcing. So,
That's true.
using that kind of thinking.
Well, the other thing with sourcing strategy is you can also, like, everybody's sourcing strategy is going to be different depending on your method of e-commerce, whether you're doing private label, white label, whether you're doing print on demand, you're doing drop shipping, you're doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, whatever you're doing, thrifting, um, whatever that is, you have a sourcing strategy and a method to your sourcing approach. So you should document that so that you have it at least as a reference guide. And again, at some later point, if you need to put together a business plan, so you can get more money in your business or get an influx in cash, or maybe you're going to apply for grants this year, or again, outsourcing to some of this to a VA, or not outsourcing it, just so you have the documentation so somebody else can do it should you ever fall ill or whatever. A listing strategy. So, what is your listing strategy for your business? Some people use different tools to do mass listing, and maybe that's your strategy is to do bulk listing, putting stuff into a spreadsheet and bulk listing it. So, you're using a tool. Maybe you're manually listing. Maybe you have certain days of the week that you're doing listing. Maybe, that you are training somebody else to do listing. So, putting together your listing strategy. How are you getting listings up? What's your process to get listings up? Kelly talked about doing some deep research so that she could create a listing. So she's going out there and doing some analysis to make sure that she, how to list it, what she can list it, what's the price that maybe people are makes sense for this particular product. She's, in addition to that, she's authenticating the products, but again, she's going through a process. So I have my own listing strategy where we go out and do keyword research. We do comparisons of existing listings on a couple different platforms. We look at the titles, we look at the description before we actually build the listing itself. So that's some of the things that everybody's got some type of listing strategy before they list it. Some of that could be merged into semi-research strategy. Some of it could be sourcing strategy. But again, getting the listing up, what's your strategy? Is there anything you want to add to that, Kelly?
And do you use a cross-posting
Tool? Yeah.
tool? To so that I'm going to cross-post this item to these sites, but not this site, or so because that on those sites they will have a better chance of selling, or maybe you can't list it on Etsy because it's not vintage or a craft supply or something like that, or handmade.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Shipping strategies. Yes. I love to talk about shipping. It all depends on when you want to do your shipping. Do you do your shipping in the mornings? Do you do it the night before? I personally, because I work a full-time job, I work 3 days a week as a nurse. So on the night before I have to work, like tonight, I'm going to do shipping. I do my shipping the night before. And if you need to make sure that your shipping and when you list your items is set up to where it can accommodate your schedule. So if it's something that's going to be harder for me to ship, it's something that's a glass and I have to take a long time to package it up, I might put a little bit longer day, 1 to 2 days to ship out instead of just 1 day shipping. Because I might have to say, oh, I might wake up in the morning and be like, oh, that's sold overnight and I need to ship it today, but I don't have time. I have to get ready for work. So I need to add that extra day for that shipping. But if it's like a t-shirt, I can just throw in a poly bag and throw the label on it, take me 5 minutes. I can do 1 day shipping on it. So you need to make sure you think about those things that are harder to ship before you do your listing. And also, because I can't get to the post office, I have help. My husband does help. He doesn't like to do the shopping. He doesn't want to do the listing, but he will take stuff to the post office for me. I just have a little place in the area and right by the door. I put everything I need to have him take to the post office or UPS. I'll make sure I mark it separately. This one needs to go UPS. This one needs to go to post office so that he can, he will, drop those off for me. And if you're like, I don't have a UPS or FedEx around me, find out what other places take those packages. Walgreens, Office Depot, I think CVS and Michael's, and I think even there's like an auto place that takes UPS or FedEx packages. So offer those other kinds of those different services because the post office this year have changing a lot of prices, and a lot of the longer things they're going to have a extra fee on for extra length of stuff. So you might have to change over from post office to FedEx or to UPS because of those extra charges, unless you're going to pass that on to your customers, and they might not like that. So,
Oh yeah. So I have two funny stories real quick. So, well, one's a story, one's not, one's a comment. So the comment about the oversized, my goal last year was to, at the end of the year, we were late to the game, was to get all of my wrapping paper listed so that I wouldn't have to pay the oversized shipping fees that are gonna happen. Otherwise, I got to pass it on to my customer. So I was like, list everything, like all of it. I don't care. List it all in bundles. 20, 30, I don't care. However many rolls, just put as many up as possible so we can get them out of here. Because I don't want to have to deal with the oversized. But in any case, I'm going to have to deal with it in 2022. And it's going to be okay. So that was one thing that we were trying to like mass push out a bunch of wrapping paper. But the other thing, oversized wrapping paper. So the other thing was my brother tried to drop off a package at CVS. We were trying to get a shipment out to a customer, and it was a toy that sort of made noise. It was of course during the holidays, and it made noise. And so he was trying to get it dropped off or at least checked in. And so he went to the CVS, and the CVS guy was late. It was like 11:30 or something. And so he walked in there and he's like, I'm here to drop off a package. And he was like, oh, you can't drop that off here. It was making noise. He was like, no, we're not going to be able to drop that off here. You're going to take that to the post office. We're not taking that tonight. It's like, it can be anything. It can be a bomb. It can be whatever. And then my brother was like, but it's not a bomb. It's a toy for somebody. That's all right. You can't drop it off here. So I thought that was so funny. But anyway, regarding your shipping strategy, whether you ship things yourself or you are outsourced to a fulfillment center, third-party logistics, whatever it happens to be, a prep center, every seller that is a seller, there's three things that you do. Every seller sources. Every seller lists, whether they put it as a post, it is a listing somewhere out in the universe so somebody can find it, whether it's on your own website, whether it's on some other site that you're listing, a marketplace, or whatever. You list, your listing has to exist somewhere in the universe, and you ship. Now, it may not be you shipping. It may be a third-party logistics. It could be whatever, a prep center, fulfillment center, whatever your process is. So whatever your shipping process is, you should have a shipping strategy that's documented for that. And we should also incorporate into that, like, what is your strategy for supplies? So one of the things we suggested at the end of last year was everyone should have their standalone own FedEx, UPS, and USPS accounts, just in case. You never know. And sometimes you can get discounts with volume, but we also suggested, like, you set up accounts with outside of just using your back office, like you could do some cost compares on like Pirate Ship. So these kind of things are things that you're doing that you're not really writing down and nobody knows what they are. You should document your processes. That's all I'm saying.
And I have one.
Go ahead.
Make sure that when you list something, if you're shipping it yourself, you have the box to fit that item, because you don't want to list something, it sells 20 minutes later because you're thinking, oh, it won't sell for a while. I can wait a while till I find a box.
Yeah.
And then it sells 20 minutes later, and then you're like, I don't have a box for that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Your tip for 2022 is to, before you even decide you're going to sell this particular item, have shipping. Put shipping should be in mind before you, either if you're doing retail arbitrage, online, whatever you're doing, you need to have a shipping plan for every single product that you acquire, that you source. If you don't have one, I would not I would not take on that task of trying to figure that out. You should already know, like, oh, okay, I'll ship this and this. Even those, like I was teaching in the bundles course this weekend, I was like, you know, you should have a shipping plan for this bundle. Before you decide you're going to put all these things together in this bundle, you need to figure out how you're going to ship this thing and how small can I get it condensed. And so I talked about what I do in order to figure out what my shipping strategy is for every bundle. All right. So customer service, refunds, return strategy. You need to have a strategy for your customer service. Again, responding to basic customer inquiries or customer questions or whatever it happens to be, dealing with your refunds and your returns, what's your strategy. Most every platform you have to establish like a return policy, and you'll normally have to establish some type of shipping policy. So like eBay, that's a given. And then some of the other platforms, like they already have things in place and you just have to accept it if you're going to sell on their platform. But you need to have a customer service plan and or strategy. You need to have a plan or strategy for refunds, how you're going to handle that, how you're going to handle returns, especially if you've got, like if you're outsourcing your shipping, is it coming back to your fulfillment center? Is it coming back to you physically? So write out your strategy for your business. If you don't have it documented, you should go ahead and write that out. It would help you on your journey. Go ahead, Miss Kelly.
Administrative plan.
Yes.
So you have to make a plan to do all the administrative stuff, like doing your taxes, and like I know I have until the 20th of this month to do my sales taxes for last quarter for Texas. So I need to plan out a time, set out a time to do that. I should probably do tonight because everything's being taken care of by eBay, Etsy, and everything. They all collect for Texas and they all pay out. So I still have to go in and put in my little 000 in the lines. So, but I still have to do that or I get fined. So you have to plan out that. You have to go maybe do your bookkeeping time. Where you write down, I made these things sold and these were the fees, and for your taxes I have a app on my phone that tracks my mileage, but I still have to go in and say this is personal, this was for the business, so I still have to go do that. So you have all that, and if you have a VA and people who work under you, maybe you have to make time to review how they're working, and if they are working out. If not, you might have to be looking for someone else because the other person's not doing what you want. So
yeah. Yep. So there's, again, writing out all the administrative day to day. I think this is the one I feel like people run from the most. They don't want to reconcile. So they don't want to reconcile to see if they're even profitable. Like they may be running their business and they've never really reconciled and they're running from it. So again, you just need to, and I feel like administrative is spelled wrong. So if it's spelled wrong, I'm sorry, but maybe it's not spelled wrong and it just could be a Nicole thing.
Good to me.
But in any case, you should have an administrative plan in place. I'm just saying. All right, traffic strategy. So traffic strategy for me sort of indirectly goes with the listing strategy. And why I say that is because, my strategy to get traffic to my listings is definitely trying to get organic traffic. So I do a lot of keyword research. I do a lot of keyword, like trying to figure out what are the keywords that should be in the title and the description and all that other stuff. I name my images so that way I can try to get as much organic traffic to my listing as possible before spending money. But if I'm going to have to spend money, again, what's your strategy for getting traffic? Could be, you could change this to marketing strategy, whatever it happens to be. But for me, I call it traffic. And you got to get eyeballs on your listings. Are you going to pay for paid traffic? Are you not going to pay for paid traffic? Are you going to list on certain platforms? Are you going to create a Facebook group for the people that are like attracted to your specific niche? And so then that way, maybe you include information about your products in that Facebook group or whatever. What's your strategy going to be? You should document that so you know, and then that way continue to move forward. And again, I always think in the back of my mind, I could take some of this information and use it to build a bigger, detailed document to help me, transition this over to a VA and let them do some of the work.
Yeah,
So,
you can use like social media and using like Instagram and Pinterest and hashtags of
mhm.
certain things to draw uh, traffic to your items without spending money.
Yep, get more eyeballs. That's the goal. Social media, keywords, just do what you can. Cross posting, all of the above to get more traffic to your listings. All right, Miss Kelly.
Your education plan. So, what do you plan to learn this year for your business? Like I was talking about last week, my one of my things this year is to learn jewelry. I choose last couple of years I've chosen each year I've chosen a new subject to learn. That was year before in 2020 it was glass, vintage glass and china. So I'm no expert on it, but I do know a lot more, and I'm not afraid of it anymore. Because before I was like, I'm not gonna touch it because I have no clue. But now I have a little bit of a base education that I learned from researching and also from talking with sellers who do sell glass and learning from how they source. Um, that helped me learn. And then this next year, last 21, was vintage clothing. So I really got into selling vintage clothing. So same way, I went and did some research on what the tags look like, and then watched sellers who do sell vintage clothes and see what they're picking up, so that I could learn. So this now, I've gotten into jewelry. I've learned. I'm starting to watch other sellers and you know learn from Facebook groups on jewelry sellers, taking that as my education, when I can. I'm not stopping everything else, and I'm still selling glass. I'm still selling vintage clothes, but it's just something added so I can add that into my repertoire of my stores. So maybe you want decide this year, oh, I want to learn to do print on demand. I want to learn to how to get a VA. So there's lots of different educations you can do for your business.
Absolutely. The goal is that we're all trying to either grow and expand our business or to scale it or to not lose money. If your business is where you want it right now, but just the rest of the world is changing all the time. How do I sustain the level of profit that I'm getting right now in my business? So you should always have an education plan for your business, for yourself, for your growth, for your expansion of your business. Kelly made some excellent points. Excellent points. And like for me, my goal this year is to spend 90 days getting better at Google ads and Facebook ads. That's one of the things that I'm going to do. I'm going to do it 2 hours a week over 90 days and see where it puts me. That's the other thing. I do have dedicated time for that because you could get sucked into the vortex of the black hole and you're trying to figure out 8 hours later, what did you do today? So don't get sucked into the black hole. Make sure that as part of your education plan that you have dedicated time that you carve out and that you already know potentially. Maybe you already bought the training program and maybe you already know what you wanted to go look at so that you don't get sucked into the vortex. Because, yeah, we all get sucked in and we're trying to figure out we lost 12 hours today. Why? Because we were on YouTube. So I hope all this was helpful and that you use it as part of your journey. If you are still working on your 2022 plan, we want to encourage you to grab the Ultimate E-commerce Planner, the 2022 Ecom Planner. You can go to www.myecomplanner.com right now to grab your e-commerce planner. You can actually put all of your strategies in your planner. It has a lot of great information in it. So go and grab the e-commerce planner to help you on your e-commerce journey. Join us if you are interested. If you're looking for some help with accountability, need some help with maybe actually just filling out your planner or not really sure what to put into your planner, you can join eCom Sellers Academy, grab the lifetime membership, so then that way you never have to pay again. 25% off, enter promo code 25 off ESA. And that way you can join us on our accountability sessions that we're having inside of eCom Sellers Academy that pertain to the planner, so that people can continue to make progress in their business and really use this year to grow. Like, I feel like 2020 and 2021, because there was just so much going on from an emotional standpoint. Some of us lost friends, we lost family members, we experienced stuff ourselves, just the isolation, all of that is a lot to take in. So we use 2022 as our year to hit the ground running. So let's all hit the ground running together. Join eCom Sellers Academy so we can help you on that. And then I wanted to let you know that we do have a workshop coming up, our print on demand workshop. It actually starts tomorrow, Tuesday, and it's a 2-part series where we're going to be going through print on demand and helping you get started if you are interested. If you're an Academy member, it's absolutely free to you. But if you're not an Academy member, you can sign up for the workshop, and you can go to bit.ly/POD in caps and then capital W workshop. So POD in caps and capital workshop, and join us on our print on demand workshop. So the last thing is I just want to encourage you all, if you haven't signed up for the eCom Sellers, getting the eCom Sellers planner, definitely grab the planner. I'm trying to see where I have this thing. I have it everywhere, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab it real quick. This awesome planner. So this is, let me just see if I can get it to be full screen. There we go. So it's going to help you to build the habit of consistency in your business. It's going to help you to get going in 2022. Make those adjustments or changes in your business that you need to, and document the things that you think are going to be helpful in your business. So go grab your eCom planner. You can go to www.myecomplanner.com. Again, www.myecomplanner.com. Go grab it today. Join us. We're starting on the 21st with the accountability sessions. And again, they're optional to attend, but if you're really looking to make a change in your business this year, you want to grow it, you definitely want to sign up for that. And they're not all day. They're only 15 minutes. So there you go. We probably will be less than that. All right, let me get it out of this thing. There we go. Let me stop showing my screen. There we go. All right, so Kelly, is there anything else that we forgot to mention?
Not that I can think of. I'm sorry if you hear the noise. My puppy's down here. I say puppy. He's an 85-pound boxer.
He is not a puppy.
Good boy.
Yeah. So yeah, he is a big one. Oh, that's the planning session. So the planning session is over. Sorry. So go to my eCom planner. I forgot to. That's the wrong banner to throw up there. So this has been another episode of the eCom Sellers podcast. We do this every Monday at 8:30 p.m. and we encourage you to come join us each Monday so that we can help you on your e-commerce journey. Thank you, Ms. Kelly, for your time today. And we are going to say